If you're working to make money, here's the trap. You're trading time for dollars. The moment you start working, the money is going to stop flowing. And guess what? That's not wealth. That's stress with a paycheck attached to it. And what's worse, it's a ceiling on how much you can ever make because you've only got so many hours in the day. Most people don't even know that they're stuck in this trap because of the conditioning and the things that they've been used to. And so on today, we're going to talk about how to work smarter and not harder. And so let's get into it. So, number one, the problem is with just making money. So, here's the thing. A lot of people trade their time for money by going to a job, working 40 hours a week, but they can work hard during those 40 hours, but that doesn't mean that they're going to get more money during those hours, right? Because your time is connected to how much you actually make. And so the thing that most people don't understand is when you're trying to grow wealth, you have to separate your time from your money. You should be able to make money in your sleep. I know you've heard that before. And so how can we actually do that? How can we separate our time from our money? It's by creating systems. But before I even give you the definition of what a system is, I'm going to give you an equation, just something to think about. So you working for money versus you actually building a system, right? So you working for money, let's just say you make $25 an hour, 40 hours a week. That's $1,000 a week. $1,000 a week. That's $52,000 a year if you work consistently. And that means no breaks, no missed time. You can't mess up. You got to work those 40 hours. Your time is connected to that money. But if you built a system that works for you, you could do that in a shorter amount of time. So think about this. If you wrote a book that really took 100 hours to complete, you sell it for $25 per copy. If 10 people bought your book each week, that's $250 a week. I love math. So you know how much that is a year, right? That's $13,000 a year. That's money that's work that you didn't have to do but once in order to get that $13,000 a year. Now, if we scale it, think about it as if 100 people bought your book each week. How much is that? That's $130,000 a year for something that you only built once. So what sounds better? Working 40 hours a week or building something that actually produces you something without having to work for it or work even harder? Systems multiply your time while a job only consumes it. So what is a system? Here we are, the big question. What is a system? A system, by definition, is a process, tool, or structure that allows you to create consistent results with less time and effort. So what do systems do? Systems actually gives you leverage. It gives you leverage. So you're not working harder, you're working smarter. So what do systems look like for us as entrepreneurs or even people, right? Creating content, but creating content to where you can actually create a piece of content one time and get paid for it for the rest of your life on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Facebook does it a little bit, but ultimately YouTube is the biggest platform for you to actually do that. So you can post on YouTube, you can write a book, you could create an online course, you could design a group coaching program. You have these types of systems that allows you to create it once and get paid for it and multiply and scale it at the same time. So I gave you the equation. Think about it like this. As a coach, if you did group coaching and you charge $500 per person to join your program, you can easily do 10 people and make a significant amount of money. And you don't even have to do one-on-ones to where it divides your time up. You're multiplying your time at that point. And that's what we want to do. We want to multiply the amount of income that we get based off our time. And so another system would be automations. So now this looks like saving time for you as far as like email marketing, so CRM softwares, or even scheduling apps that handle the repetitive tasks. So the things that you do repetitively, you should try to automate. You should try to automate those processes. Why? Because it saves you time from having to do all of those repetitive tasks. If you got to do it, you're wasting time that you don't get back. The most valuable thing that we have as people is time, because that's something that you'll never get back. So we want to save as much time and earn the most money, so that way we can live a more fulfilled life. Now, the next system is delegation. So delegation would be almost like a manager, right? Where you can outsource certain tasks, like hiring a VA or virtual assistant, or build up a team to help you free up more of your time. So if what you do can require a team to do the things that you were once doing, you're saving yourself more time. You're working smarter and not harder. You're saving yourself time and multiplying your income at the same time. A lot of people may be like, oh, but that means I have to pay the team. But I would rather pay one person and save a lot of time and still get paid the same amount of money, if not more. You don't hire people to just do a job just to sit there. You hire them because of the value that they provide for you, the value of saving time without having to worry about the repetitive tasks that you normally did. So the goal is to make your time more efficient and scalable, focusing on creating things that work for you even when you're not working. I'm going to say that one more again. The goal is to make your time more efficient and scalable. Focus on creating things that work for you even when you're not working. I don't want to have to work. I think that's where a lot of people get, oh, I want to build a business so I don't have to work. Well, you have to work on it in the beginning, but it's the systems that allow you to not have to work. Yes, you still have to manage it, but if you have all the priorities and the systems in place, guess what? Instead of you working 40 hours a week, what does it look like for you to work 10 to 20, or I'm gonna say five hours a week? What does that look like compared to 40? What would you do with the amount of time that you save because of the systems that you actually put into place? So, what are the benefits of building a system? What are the benefits of building a system? You save a lot of time and you have freedom. Freedom. I know a lot of people say they want to be financially free, but I want to be time free, because I want to free up hours that I spent doing something else to focus on things that matter, like spending time with my family, like going on vacations without having to worry if I'm gonna actually be able to get paid or not. So that time freedom is what we should really strive for, and the reason why we build systems. Build systems don't work for money. You also get the luxury of scalability. So being able to grow a business without increasing your personal workload. Now, a lot of people say, man, I be working 80 hours a week. That is very inefficient. Very inefficient. And what does that ultimately lead to? Burnout, destruction, not only for yourself, but for your business as well. Now you broke and you hungry, and now you just stuck like Chuck. So being able to scale without increasing your personal workload, saving more time, even though you're growing, that's the goal. That's the benefit of systems. And the last benefit of building a system is consistency. You're able to create more predictable results and reduce the stress that you actually have. Because when you always have to start from ground zero of whatever you're doing, you're wasting more time, more energy just to do the same thing that you did yesterday. But if you had a system or a framework that you knew like the back of your hand, you don't start from ground zero. You start from the place of where your system is. So a lot of times people say that when you fail, you don't fail to where you first started. You fall to where you actually built your system. So where is your system? How can you create this system? With the system, you don't have to ask, will this work? I already know it's going to work because I built it. I see it working for me. So an example of a system for me is for me with my tax business, right? Building a system to where I don't have to constantly go through and interview everybody for every single question is going to save me time. So what did I do? I created a wait list to where you answer all of these things. And now I have automations that send you emails so that way you can do it without me having to actually send it to you. And the only time that I actually have to spend is when I actually get your actual tax return. As a coach, it's the CRMs. Having those automated emails come to you with information that you actually need or even giving you value. YouTube, creating YouTube videos like this right here. I'm giving you value. And when I close this laptop, you're still going to continue to get value, even without me actually being here. I don't have to say this message over and over. That's the benefit of a system. I know it's going to work. Do you? So here's something I want you to think about, or I want you to implement. I want you to stop thinking about how you can make more money. I want you to stop thinking about how you can make more money. I want you to think about how you can create things that make you more money. Create things that make more money, not work for it. So I gave you plenty of examples of what systems look like. So how can you create things that make you more money? Systems help you work smarter, not harder. The wealthy don't hustle for dollars. Elon Musk don't work for dollars. They create machines and systems that build them and create more money for them. That's why people be like, man, I don't even see how he actually does it. If you look at the wealthy, they don't work for their money. They don't work for it. Why? Because they're working smarter, not harder. When people say we're working to build someone else's dream, guess what? We're in their system. So how can you create your own so that way you can live a life worth living? So here's a challenge for you. Look at one thing that you do over and over and over in your life and in your business and ask yourself, how can I systematize this? How can I automate this to where I don't have to do it repetitively? Can you automate it? Can you document it? Can you delegate it? So if you're creating content and you need a thumbnail, delegate that. If you need editing, delegate it. Start with one small step today. And if you're ready to learn how to build those systems that bring in more money while you sleep, reach out. I would love to guide you into learning how to do this. So here's the truth. If you keep working just to make money, you'll always be working harder than you need to. But when you work to build systems, you're not just making money, you're multiplying it. You're multiplying your money. Imagine stepping away from your business or your job. What if it still produced income for you? You still got paid, regardless of if you stepped away or not. That's the power of a system. Don't just hustle for dollars. Hustling hard and grinding hard ain't the thing. Yes, you have to do it to get certain things off the ground, but once you start thinking smarter, guess what? Now you don't have to work hard after you get off the ground. Don't just hustle for dollars. Build a machine, build your system that makes the dollars for you. It's a Bible verse that I got this from, right? It's Ecclesiastes 10:10. If the axe is dull and its edge is unsharpened, more strength is needed, but skill will bring success. And this verse right here, it highlights the principle of working smarter, not harder. Yeah, the Bible said work smarter, not harder. Building a system is like sharpening your axe. It takes less swing to get that tree down. You put in more effort up front to make the work more efficient and more fruitful in the long run. So work hard in the front to get that system to start going. Right? I want to help you. I want to move you from where you're not very efficient to being efficient in your life. So I'm going to invite you to my Purpose to Profits Mastermind, where for the total of 6 weeks, we're going to take you through how to build those systems. We're going to teach you who you are, who you're serving, what do you offer, and how you actually show up. And on the back end, we're going to help you build those systems to automate your life and your business. So if you're ready, if you're ready to automate your life and build money without working harder for it, click the link down below, and I'd love to see you in the Purpose to Profits Mastermind. And so if you got any value from this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube. Instagram is the MarionDavis, and YouTube is MarionMDavis. And so until tomorrow, I'll see y'all in the next one.